Hi everyone, so here I am again. Oh no, I still haven't broken that habit. So today what I'm going to do is, well, first of all, I just want to say thank you very much for everyone who has been so generous in supporting this passion. And I'm sure the people at my local yarn shop are going to be like, hey, what, did you win the jackpot or something when I go shopping for yarn next. As I mentioned on Ravelry and also on Facebook, the attempt to send emails to absolutely everybody, the logistics of that are, well, absolutely impossible. My email server crashed because it's not used to receiving so much mail. And when my husband came home from work, we did try to sort that out, but it seems that I cannot send bulk emails, and it would be impossible to send an email to each and every one of you individually. I would be here for a couple of weeks. So what I have done is I've asked if you would be so kind as to just send me a message on Ravelry or Facebook, or you can email me if you have the email. It's jentylerdesigns@gmail.com, and you can request the video. So the first video is finished and it's already up on YouTube. It's an unlisted video, so only people with the link can view it. So please don't share the link. It was impossible to share a private video also to bulk emails. For some reason that just didn't work, even though the YouTube tutorials that I did, they said yes, you can do that, but I tried and it just did not work. And then also we had a competition on my Facebook page, on the Hooks and Tails Facebook page, and I did a draw, and there were 3 lucky winners and then also a bonus prize. So congratulations to you ladies for winning. You know who you are. Anyhow, I don't want to wax too. Oh, do you like this? This little I inherited this from my mom-in-law when she passed away quite a few years ago now, and I just love it, and it's a little bit macabre as well. All the pins in the hands. So what I'm going to do today is also round 1 until 10, I think it's 10 rounds or so, it might even be an extra round, of the center flower for the Durban Spice Girls. So, I had done, okay, I've set up a funny little setup here with my camera. I actually changed rooms and changed positions so that the light would be better in the winter. But this is the alternative flower, and I'm going to show you today how to do that so that you will have a choice between the 2 flowers. And you'll see that they are different. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start with I've actually written out all the pattern notes here because obviously it wasn't part of the PDF. So we'll do the usual. Obviously I always start with a magic loop. I'm going to chain 2, and that will be your first half double crochet into the magic loop. So you're going to do 8, and I shall see you at the end there. So on to round 2 of this alternative flower. So what you did in the last round is 8 half double crochets into a magic ring. And now we're going to be working between those half double crochets. Okay, so as I say, lots of people are more technically technically experienced than I am at crochet, and they probably have far better ways of doing these things. Now I have to tell you that the weather is very weird. There's a massive storm approaching, and in between that we've got sunlight. So I'm just going to pull this closed, but I might open it again. Okay, so I'm going to start with a standing single crochet, and then we're going to do a yarn over 3 times, puff, chain 1. It's a bit difficult to see exactly where you need to go there, so yes, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 3. I'm actually kind of working over my camera. Okay, so that's how it's going to look, and I hope you can see in this light what I'm doing. Okay, so I shall see you at the end. Okay, so you've done your 8 yarn over times 3, chain 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When I say chain 1, I mean the closing chain, not an extra chain. And then to close, you're just going to slip stitch into the top of that puff, and going to pull that nice and tight, and snip off the tail there. Okay, like that. Okay, so my dogs were starting to get involved, and I had to go and put them elsewhere. Alright, so what we're going to do in this round, we're going to be working into the top of that half double crochet, so into the top of the stitch. Don't ask me why I do things like this. I could have found an easier way, but you know, I just sort of did that at the time and then I stuck to it. And then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do a single crochet again into the top of that stitch, that half double crochet. Okay, like that, single crochet and chain 2, and whoops, almost did a half double crochet there, a single crochet. So you're working, let's just be sure to get into, you know, sometimes it's easier to just see what you're trying to do at the back there. Okay, a single crochet, 2 chains, a single crochet into the top there. I know it's all finicky. Oh, sorry, it's probably the Virgo in me, if astrology is anything to go by. Okay, chain 2 and single crochet into the top of that half double crochet stitch and chain 2. Okay, so it's going to look something like that. Okay, so I shall see you at the end of this round. Okay, so now we're on to round number, so we've got 1, 2, 3. We're going to be going on to round number 4. So this is just a reminder, this is the alternative version, another flower shape that you can use if you don't like the other one. A little bit of a bonus pattern, right? Okay, so now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working into those chain 2s. Okay, so we're going to do a slip stitch into that chain 2 space like that. Then we're going to chain 3 Okay, so I'm not counting the slip stitch. I mean, I am counting the slip stitch. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do a double crochet, okay, into that chain 3 space, and then we're going to do a picot. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to do a 3 chain picot and just slip stitch into the back there, and then we're going to do a double crochet and chain 3, and we're going to slip stitch back into that chain 2 space. So what you're going to get is that little shape like that. It looks almost like a flame. Okay, and then what we're going to do is chain 1, and slip stitch into the next chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, 1 double crochet, chain 3 for your picot, slip stitch into the back there. I hope you can see what's going on here. 1 double crochet, okay, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, chain 1. Okay, so we're going to have that kind of little flame shape. I'll do one more, although I'm sure you have it already. So you're going to slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, double crochet, chain 3, slip stitch into the back like that. Have I done that right? Yes. And double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch back into that. So, excuse all the funny sounds. Monday is garbage collection day. Okay, so that you're going to have that going on like that. And I shall see you at the end of this round. Okay, so now you've done your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 petals, and you've done your last chain 1, and then I'm just going to kind of slip stitch into those 2 little strands at the back to close off this round. Okay, I'll just snip that off and pull that nice and tight. Okay, so kind of that's what you'll have going on there. I can just have a look quickly, make sure that yours is looking about the same. Right, so now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds. This colour, by the way, is coral, and it's also a family knit, L yarn family knit DK. I tend to mix my yarns. I'm a real cheapskate. Oh dear. And also, I just find this such a nice yarn to work with, especially for squares, because it's very, very robust. And the other yarns that I use, and I often mix the two together, are the Stylecraft Special DK, because I love all the colours, and they seem to work quite well with the L yarn DK, and of course they're both acrylic. So the next colour is Duck Egg, and what you're going to do is you're going to, it's a very easy round, you're going to do a double crochet front post around this single stitch that you did into the top of your half double crochet. So like I was showing you in the last video, I didn't really know how to do this properly. I suppose I should watch a tutorial, but it works for me. And then what I do is I just kind of slip oh, I'm going off camera. Sorry, I just slipped the tail through there so doesn't get in the way. So a double crochet front post. So with this, makes it a whole lot easier, but you can actually work in front of your petals like that. And then you're going to do a double crochet front post around the single crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet front post around that single, whoopsie, you don't want to be lifting up other things going on at the back there. So sometimes you do get into the puffs there. Okay, so just carefully, slowly but surely. Yeah, sorry if I sound a bit condescending on my tutorials or whatever, I'm not really sure what the word is, but I used to homeschool my sons. I actually homeschooled my sons for 10 years. And so, and in fact my youngest son has never really attended a real school. I taught him from scratch, and they all turned out fine. But I still seem to have that sort of, as if I'm talking to little children type way of doing tutorials. But it is funny how so many of one's past experiences kind of prepare you for future things, and you don't really know when you're going to be called upon to use that experience. But anyhow, I think patience is one of my virtues when it comes to teaching or showing people how to do things. I'm quite happy to go over it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, so that's what you're going to do, and I shall see you. Okay, so it's a double crochet front post that you're going to be doing over the single crochet that you did into the top of those half double crochets. Okay, and I shall see you at the end. Okay, so here we are at the end. I'm not even going to comment on that, so here we are. And you're just going to do a slip stitch into the top of those kind of beginning chains, that you did for the first double crochet front post. Do that. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to pull your little petals through like that. You see, that's, oh, look how pretty that looks. I never had the my boys, I taught them how to knit and things like that, but we never really sat around knitting together. So for me, this is so much fun. Feels like I'm sitting with a group of people and we're busy going through doing some of our favorite things like crochet. Okay, so there you go. That is, I'm just going to tuck that in, and you can pull it out, and obviously as you continue working, that's going to, all the stitches are going to find their spot. So that is the end of round number 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I shall see you at round number 6. Okay, so this is not in the pattern that you've bought. Okay, this is just a kind of bonus round and another. So you're just going to have to listen very carefully and maybe make notes as you go along. Okay, so I shall see you at round number 6. Okay, on to round number 5, and is that number 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Round number 6. Round number 6 is nice and easy peasy. Just going to be working 4 double crochets into these chain 2 spaces at the back. Okay, 4 double crochets. Go 1, 2, 3, and the color I'm using is russet. Such a lovely color. Oh, I love this colour, but then it is winter, so I think I'm very attracted to these lovely sort of warm tones at the moment. And there is an absolutely massive storm coming in, and the wind is blowing, and I'm just peeping out the window here because I'm working right at the window so that I've got some good light. And we need the rain. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I've done my beginning. 3 chains equal to 1 double crochet. Then we're going to do another 3 double crochets into the space like that. Okay, and 3 double crochets into the chain 2 space. 4, 2, 3, 4. Just skipping over that double crochet front first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you just continue like that all the way around, and I shall see you at the end. Okay, so it's 4 double crochets into the chain 2 space. Okay, and now we're right at the end, and you've gone and done your 4 double crochets into those chain 2s. We're just going to slip stitch into the top of those first chains like that, and of course if you want to you can do an invisible join there, and there we go. So that's the end of round number 6, and we're going to go on to round number 7 without any further ado. That one I always check, I double check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now the colour that I have here is the hibiscus, which is also an L yarn. I think it's the pool skein, it's not the family knit. It's one of my favourite colours, I use it a lot. Okay, so here's another weird round. So what you're going to do is just going to start anywhere. So I would suggest not starting where you closed off. Okay, I just did a slip stitch, but I mean someone else might have done a really fancy, beautiful, invisible join there. So what you're going to do is you're going to work into the top of the stitch. Okay, top of any of the sort of a set of 4 double crochets there. You're going to just chain 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then into the next stitch you're going to do, so that's equal to, I'm not going to say equal to 1 treble, but it has to be the same height as your next trebles. So what you're going to do is you're going to do a 2 treble together into the next stitch like that. You're going to chain 1 to close, then you're going to do a 2 treble, going to do a 2 treble together into the next, the top of that, into that stitch, chain 1, then you're going to chain 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you're going to slip stitch back into that last stitch. Okay, like that. Then we're going to slip stitch directly into the next stitch. You're going to chain 4, and you're going to do 2 trebles together into the top like that, Okay, chain 1 just to close, and 2 trebles into the top like that. 2. I live in a very noisy neighborhood. I'm so sorry about all the background noises. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to slip stitch back into that last stitch. So what you're going to have is something like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do another one with you, right, just in case I've been working off camera or something like that. And so, oops, you know, I like to sew in my tails, but I'm just going to keep them hanging there. Okay, so you've done a slip stitch into that last one. You're going to do a slip stitch into the top of the next stitch, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to work a double treble. Okay, double treble, I mean not a double treble, 2 trebles, 2 trebles into the second double crochet. You're going to work 2 trebles together into the third double crochet, then you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch into, oopsie, there's my yarn traveling all over the table, and you're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet. You get those nice kind of chunky looking petals like that. And then you just slip stitch, so you're not going to do a chain 1 or anything, you're just going to slip stitch straight into the next stitch, and you're going to chain 4. Okay, going to do a double treble, I did again, double treble, 2 trebles, and 2 trebles together into the third double crochet. See? Okay, and chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch into the top and slip stitch into the very next stitch. Okay, so I think I can leave you there so long, like that. Okay, so I'll see you at the end of this round, round number 7. Okay, I've gone all the way around, and now I'm just going to slip stitch. Oh, sorry if I keep on going off camera. I'm not paying attention. So just going to slip stitch into the back there, and snip off my yarn and pull that through. Okay, and I'm just going to tuck those little things in right there. Okay, I'm going to apologize for my hands again, you know, and you really need to tell your daughters from the time they're very little always to wear gloves and always to look after their hands, because otherwise they will end up like Auntie Jenny's hands. And you can show them on this video what happens to your hands and how your hands can be 20 years older than you if you don't look after them. And my excuse is that I never really had many woman influences in my life. My mom died when I was 5 years old, and I was the only girl and also the oldest child, and I grew up with 5 brothers. So there was no girly stuff going on in my house, and if anything, I was too busy being one of the boys to go around. And I mean, they would have laughed their heads off if they'd seen me doing my nails or doing any sort of girly things. And then of course I had sons and lived on a farm. So hands, oh well, you know, hands were for picking up children and digging things out of the garden and washing dishes and all that sort of stuff. So just please excuse my hands, but they are actually much older than I am. Okay, so what we have, that's why I enjoy crochet so much, because for the first time in my life I get to hang out with other girls. It's so girly. I love it. I just absolutely love it. I can't tell you how much I love it. Okay, so I'm just going to recap. So what you did there was you do a slip stitch into the first double crochet, chain 4, do 2 trebles together, 2 trebles together into the next one, chain 4, slip stitch into the last, you know, so you're working into those 4 over there, okay, like that. And you're just going around. You're basically just, you know, it's like painting or drawing where you start doing your shading, and so, you know, this is actually sort of one petal, if I'm making sense. Okay, so that is the end of round number, is it number 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, round number 7. So I shall see you presently at round number 8. I'm just going to go and choose a colour. Okay, so round 8, well, I thought I'm not going to bore you with this easy round, and so I can just show you quickly. You need to start with a single crochet into that joining space between your 4 chains that you did over there. Then you're going to chain 4 and a single crochet into that joining space, chain 4, single crochet into the joining space, chain 4, single crochet into the joining space, and you're going to go all the way around like that. Okay, and then when you get to your beginning single crochet, you're just going to slip stitch into that single crochet, and you're going to chain 1, 2, 3. So in fact, we are now on round number 9, and you're going to be doing a treble 3 together into that chain, I beg your pardon, into that single crochet space. Okay, then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to pop that single crochet in over there. Then you're going to chain 3 and you're going to do a treble. You're going to go into that single crochet space. Okay, you're going to do your treble, 3 treble together. Okay, so this is the old, whoopsie. So this is the alternative flower. Okay, that's why I've been sending everyone the link to the first video, round 1 to 10 of the first flower, and I've been suggesting that they just hang on, hold on to your horses, ladies, because there is an alternative. And you're going to single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and treble. Oh, such a big storm. I don't know if you can hear the wind. Treble 3. It is cold and blustery here. And okay, and chain 3 and single crochet, chain 3 and 3 trebles together right into that single crochet that you did in round number 8. Okay, so you're going to go all the way around like that. Oopsie. And 1, 2, 3. You're going to pop that in there. And I shall, okay, so it's going to look like that. And I shall see you at the end of this round. Okay, and so here we are. All the way, done this all the way around like that. And it's looking all pretty. And you're going to slip stitch right into the top of that. Stitch like that, okay. And then we're going to snip this off. That is the end. So this is going to have one extra round, although it's going to be the same size. Okay, so that is the one of the passion, and that is the other one, okay, like that. And I'm going to show you where it's different. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this round, and then we're going to come back to the little faces. Okay, because in this one, as here we have 8 little faces, although you're only going to use 4 of them for the sort of skirt design, but in this one we're only going to have 4 faces, and I'll show you how we do that. So now, well, I'm just going to launch straight into that, and we can put this aside. So that was round number 9, carrying on with pistachio. So this round, the one that no, sorry, that one was round number 8, and then where you did your treble 3s together, that was round number 9, and this is round number 10. So this is going to kind of mirror that, so you need to just be on track there. So what we're going to do is into these chain 3 spaces, we're going to do 5 double crochets. 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're just going to skip over. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and skip over and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to keep on going around like that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you're just going to keep on going around like that. So you're going to end up with exactly the same amount of stitches as you have on version number 1. And this is virgin. Oh, I almost said virgin number 2 version. Okay, I shall see you back in a minute. Okay, so here we are. I said it again, didn't I? So here I am, and this is okay. So there we go. So we've got the two alternatives, and what we've done is we've finished off this round with, in the same way that we did the other one, where we did the double crochets, and we finished off with 80 double crochets. But now the difference with this one is that, and you know, if you're clever, which you probably are, you can mix and match these. You can take, you know, maybe some elements from this and mix it with that, and you can have a bit of fun. As long as this round, your final round, has 80 stitches. Otherwise, the rest of your pattern is going to be a dog's breakfast. And so now I'm going to show you how to make the little faces. So we're going to make 4 of these. You're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you know, I'm dreaming here. I really am. Okay. I'm just thinking 4 into what? 4 chains into a magic ring, and then you're going to do another 5 twists. So you're going to have 6 altogether. It's basically going to be a 6 treble cluster. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, like that. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through. Just going to stick your thumb in there and make sure that you have a fairly long, well, no, not such a long tail, but just a bit of a tail at the end that you can, and I'll just show you why. Then you're going to pull that nice and tight, and you're going to slip stitch and close that one off, and there's your little facey. And now for something completely different. So I worked these, I said now it's a lot of what I call independent rounds, basically separate rounds. So what you do is you take your darning needle, okay, and now you're going to space them evenly. So you're going to put them, okay, and it doesn't matter which side is the top. You're going to go into that space over there. You're going to pull that through. You know, I love doing these independent rounds because they remind me of the days when I had better eyes and I used to do a lot of embroidery. Okay, so you've slipped that through there, and now you're going to do the other side like that. You're going to pull, going off camera a little bit. Okay, and you're going to go into that little hole where you're, you know, where it might help if you do it like this. You know, sometimes, so you're going to pop it in there, but you can also just pop it slightly askew so that it gets a better grip. Like that, okay? And then, I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, and there's your face. How cute is that? And then of course you can immediately work in your ends, you know. So normally, well, what I did is I just did a loose knot so that they wouldn't come loose while I was working, and then when I was finished I went in, and you know, while I was doing the other ones I just left it like that, and then when I was finished with, so you'll do one here, and then you'll, you know, skip, and you'll do another one here, and you'll skip and do another one here, skip and do another, so you'll have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are the Durban Spice Girls, you see. Now with the other one, I basically did it like this, right, and you can work, and then, you know, you can you'll see as the pattern progresses that only 4 of them sort of develop the skirts, and these are really just for decoration. So it's all up to you, you know, because also you want to keep the aesthetics of the pattern, you know, you want to keep the balance going there. So okay, so this was, you know, version 1, which everyone has got now, and this is version 2, which kind of looks a little bit smaller than the other one, but it isn't really, it's just because of the yarn that I'm using. You know, this is quite a bit thicker, you know, that I've used over here, so it's kind of made it look a bit bigger, but it's not really bigger. and also the color. Okay, so, and then once you've done your, and of course you don't have to do your little faces right now. You can also do them at any other point, you know, like along with other embellishments if you like. Okay, but basically they are now both you know, ready for the serious rounds. Well, thank you for watching, and as I've said before, if you already have this video, my email server just went completely nuts and absolutely cannot cope with sending loads and loads of, you know, I could be here for a really long time sending emails to everyone. So please just go onto the Ravelry page, onto the actual pattern page, and I will drop a notice in there every time I finish a video. And then if you feel that you need it, because you might not, you might be able to manage quite fine, then just drop me an email or a message on Ravelry or on the Facebook page or wherever you like, and just request the video tutorial, because they will be available slowly but surely. Well, actually I am trying to rush with them, so but just be patient. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I shall see you at round number 11, which will be the beginning of part number 2. And I'm not quite sure how many rounds I'll be able to fit in there, but I'm hoping it will be another 10 rounds. But obviously as the square gets bigger, the rounds get longer to finish, but we'll just see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, well, have a lovely day further, and see you again soon in Crochet Land. Bye.